this. I'm getting my... Oh, is this a stop? There it is. Okay. All right, let's see. Do we have a good... Yes, we do. Good connection there. So we can close that. Waiting for that to finish. And let's, okay, activate this. And moderation. Okay. Thanks. Sure. I don't care. Okay. Refresh this page. There it is. Live chat. Thank you. Shrink. And finally, welcome to the chat room. Excellent. Shrink. And we'll go ahead and hit this. Okay. That's done. So we can close this out. And now we just have to set our... Okay. That's done. Let me make sure that the social stream thing is working correctly. Which is not that one. It would be social stream. That one, I assume. Okay, done. And let's make sure our reflector is working properly. And that would be this one here. And there it is. So looks like everything is working there. So now, for the enter parade. Enter. 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 And enter. Done. Quit. And finally. Alright. This is actually good because it gives people time to get on here if they get... Oh, sorry. Almost forgot. I mean, I did forget. The noise indicated it. But it's not bad that it takes me about 2 minutes to do all this posting because that way people can get the alert and get in here. All right, let me do this. And all we have to do now is post this link on Blue Sky like this. There we are, waiting for the little thing to come up and hit the post button. Post button is done and we are set. So the only other thing I need to do is go here and that's hysterical. All right. What is this? Very quirky. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not concerned with that at the moment. Okay. Done. All right. Phone is silenced. All right. I can now... That's good. I'm going to move my keyboard because I don't need that right this second. And should not if I did this correctly. Wait, where is the... Okay, there's the box. All right. Move this. Let's relocate the iPad. Take the pencil off. And let's do that. There we are. And what am I going to work on? I'm going to work on this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our opening. Okay, turn that off. Let that go. This should... Actually, I don't know what this is going to do. Okay, I did finally figure out how to get at least my Be Right Back thing to fade in and out. So that's a plus. You know what? That's weird. Huh. Interesting. Boy. The mouth looks funny on this thing, even though I know it's correct. Yeah, that's the skin. Hold on, I want to try something. I want to just check. Hold on, let me turn. Let me layer all this together. So that, or group it, I should say, not layer, but let me group all this stuff together. Okay, group, bang, turn off. Yeah, no, it just looks weird because the flesh is missing, but that is actually correct. Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Just not used to looking at it this way. So since we are basically right on the edge of fall, pretty much, summer is, for all intents and purposes, ending. For some places, some people it's already over. I see some people have already jumped full bore into the fall, which I don't really mind. I know some people get annoyed by that. I'm not so bothered by that. Not really. It doesn't irritate me the way it does some people. I don't want to leave that on. So I'm going to start doing... I've had these images sitting here, and I haven't done them for a while. You know, no particular reason. I just had other stuff I'm working on. But I'm going to start doing these, you know, to kind of try to maybe get one of these. Oh, I'm going to cough. Hold on, let me cough. There we go. Try to get these maybe done for Halloween. That's the goal. We'll see. So in any event, yeah, I'm going to do these. These kind of zombified images. You know what I'm going to do? I'm looking at this because the bottom of the face is bothering me. It's bothering me because I don't like the way the skin is. We got to fix that. This has got to get fixed. This is just not, it's not doing it for me. Let me see here. Where is that? There it is. See that little bit? This, I don't like all this skin. This doesn't look right at all to me. So I've got to figure this out. And I think the only way to do it is to actually... Okay, let's do another layer. Let's go to black. Let's get the pen. The only way I think this is going to work... is that right? No, I don't think that's right. I think it's probably a 5. Oh, good 5. Yeah. I think I have to have more skin here. So I think the way this has got to work for me to not hate it, to be honest about it, is I think it's going to have to come up like this and be tied in up there. I think this part has to have more connected to the skin that was there before. There's a hair on this iPad. There it goes. Because I just don't like how this doesn't look right to me. So I want to have more kind of skin tied in. So kind of something like that, that's stretched up and in here. And then have, you know, like skin that's like this. And it's like there's that one little connected... It doesn't look good to me either, though. This bottom of this face is bothering me. I wonder if I just need to jettison the whole thing down there. Maybe. I just don't know if the bottom of the face... Hold on, I have the... Don't I... Oh, bone. Here we go. You know what? I think I have to go that route. I really do. I think that's what I have to do. I think the mouth... I think the flesh has got to go. I think it's got to be that. I just don't see any other way for it to not look terrible to me. I think it has to be this. Which is a shame because I wanted more skin on it, but honestly, it just doesn't look good. And if it doesn't look good, you can't go with it. Or at least I can't. I can't stick with something if it doesn't look good to me. And this doesn't look good to me as is. So what we're going to do here, I'm not going to delete it necessarily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. I'll turn that off. Now here, I have to get rid of basically anything I don't like, which is quite a bit. So, I think I know. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all this, all that, and that. Because that's the jawbone. See, I mean, that doesn't look right either. Yeah. This is messy, but we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. So what I got to do, and I think the jawbone is, that's okay. I think the jawbone, I didn't follow it. That's okay. Let's see, this is a thin, oh good, perfect. Let's do this. Let's have the bone come down like this, and we'll have it come over. And then we'll have this come down. So this is the part of the jaw here. So I don't mind if this is kind of like fractured, and that will come down and join up with this. And I think that's better as far as that part goes. And we'll just... This hair didn't come off the iPad like I wanted to. Let me jump to here. It's just certain things that when I look at them, I don't like them. When if you don't like something, change it. It's that simple. So I think that's going to look better. I'm still going to have skin over here. It's just not going to be the way it is there. So the skin on this part... Oh, actually, I could do it on this. I could do it on this layer. That's okay, because this is the same size. Yes. So what we'll do is the skin will kind of... I'll fix all the rest of this. The skin's going to kind of flap down here and come off. And we can have a little bit of a... kind of almost like a two-face situation happening. I see a little bit of this will go there, and the rest of this will come up and then join up with that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to redo a little bit of this, but not terribly so. See, then I can have something like this where this is kind of stretched down. See, that hole can be there, and then we can still see parts of things through there. Have that coming like that. Yeah, that's gonna be better. It is. That's gonna be better. It's gonna be better looking than it is now. I am pretty confident of that. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna take this. We'll get rid of that because that is gonna meet up with the skin right there. Then I need to locate where that line is. There it is. We're gonna get rid of that. Okay. And where am I here? Is that 54? No. Where's that line? There it is. Let's go. Ooh, a little too much. Let's just do that. And then what I need to do is... Actually, that flap is fine. That's okay. I don't have to alter that at all. But this should be rounder. So we'll do something like that. And then the other side of it will be here. Yeah. I like that better. And then we need one more layer, and we're going to put the teeth in. So this is where basically I need to finish off this. We'll come down to right there. But you can see that was already there, so I'm just going to keep this... Ooh, not like that, though. I'm just going to keep this going so that we can match the teeth up. All right, like that, and like that, and like that. And then we'll have this curling up like that, and that. There we are. Yeah, that's going to look a lot better. I really think it is. I think it's going to look... Now, I got to fix that because that tooth is no good. Probably because it was going to go into the skin, so I probably didn't really pay attention. Just being honest about it, I probably didn't. So we'll have the teeth come down like this, and we're gonna jagged the teeth a bit so that they're not perfectly straight, because they shouldn't be. So we'll just do something like this, and a little piece missing out of there. And then this will be the canine bit, and you want that to look a little sharp. Gives it that sinisterness to it. And we'll just, you know, you just don't want them to be perfectly smooth. That's the main goal here, is not to make everything perfectly smooth. It doesn't have to all be, you know, cracked and deformed, but they shouldn't look nice. You know, if you're making a scary character, you want the teeth to at least have some degree of... They shouldn't be polished. I guess that's the way to put it. You know, that would be my kind of advice on that, is don't make the teeth really nice. Don't make them be teeth you'd want to have, because that's going to be tough for people to buy into as a scary thing. You know what I mean? So, give the teeth a little bit of something. Doesn't mean that you have to completely fracture them all and make them all dented and pitted and all that stuff. But they should look, in my opinion, they should have a little bit of wear and tear on them. Makes them look a little bit scarier. A little bit. Just a little. Oop, no, don't do that. And have it come up here. And have that one there. Yeah, okay, so there's our teeth. Let's clean that up. So we'll clean that. We'll just getting rid of these overlap lines. Yeah. Do that. Those other detail lines are going to go in a minute, because I got to re-architecting this in many ways, so there's a couple things I'm going to have to clean up. Not a problem. Just something I got to do. Okay, so that's good. So where's that detail line? It's probably up here. Let's see. Come on. Where are you, line? I know you're here, because I can see you, so I know you're here. Where are you? No. Hey, there it is. Right there. Alright, so this, we're going to clean that up. We're going to clean... That isn't supposed to be there at all. This is gone. As is that. Okay. You know what? And so is that. We'll fix those later, but they're not going to be here for now. Hey, Timber Dragon, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. Happy Monday. That does confirm that at least that's working. I'm glad I have that delay because I wouldn't have seen that otherwise. So, welcome to the stream. Doing a little bit of a Halloween-y type of image here. So, revising quite a bit of it because I realized I didn't like the way it looked before. So, I'm going to change some things here. Okay, so that, I think that's good like that. Yeah, that's better. I like that better. Oh, what did I turn off here? I turned something off that I should have left on. What did I turn off? This? That's it. Got it. That's what it was. Okay. Help your layers? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers. In fact, I'm going to combine those down. Layers are... I use lots of layers. It's just one of those things. When you have a lot of them, you want to use them. Layers are great. You got to keep track of them. So you have to do a bit of wrangling of layers, that's for sure. But they are exceptionally helpful to have. See, I just have to clean up some of my other lines here. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Alright. So I don't think I need... Oh, well, maybe I do because... Okay. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm good. Right, so that goes there. That's okay. The hair's going behind it. Yep, okay. No, this is... I'm following this. Let me drop my brush down further. So let me drop it down. I'm going to guess 3, maybe, for this one. Let me see what these lines look like. Yeah, that's a 3. All right, that's this line, right? Yeah. So we need to have this coming up like that. Here we are. And let's do kind of like that. And kind of like that. We need to have some of this here, like that. And some of this coming up like that, because you want to have it where you can see kind of where the skin's pulling a bit, or maybe not quite that much though, maybe more like this. Okay. Has there been anyone else? Well, there's 2 viewers. So there's you and somebody else, but I have not figured out, to be honest, how I can see viewer names. So I don't know. There is somebody else, at least according to the little metric counter here. It does indicate that there's somebody else, but I don't know who it is. So I don't tell people they have to say hello or anything like that. It's like, if you want to just sit there and watch, or you're listening in the background, that's perfectly fine. So I don't really know. I mean, it's saying there's somebody else. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to believe that that's true and not just... I know on the other... When I was using OBS, it would... Well, now it says 1, so I guess now it's just you. But OBS would... I don't know if I want to say make up numbers, but... Oh, it's my sister. She just texted me. So, my sister was the other person. Now I only see 1. So either she left or you left. So, I kind of figured it was my sister. Alright, so let's take a look here. Okay, so there was nothing there. Bone stuff. Yep, that's okay. So we'll go to the skin. Now this has some of the shading. Which... Okay, so... It's hysterical. Most of the shading is where the bone is. Alright, so let's go ahead and... make another layer. Like that. Move it in here. Where? Oh, I colored it in, so that's like a black layer. Okay, I was going to say, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, alright, got it. Probably shouldn't really be right there, but that's alright. So for this, let's go ahead and do something like that. And that's going to be a shadow line. Let's go down to that. Whoa, no, I don't need to alter the brush. I just need to adjust that. There we go. So we'll say that, and we'll round this out to say, to here. And we'll just go ahead and put an X there so I know what this is. Oh, I suppose we'll do the same thing here. Let's just bring that up. And actually, hold on. Let me look at this. No. We'll leave that as is, but we'll make another shadow line, kind of. Well, oh, yeah, I just saw a mistake I made. Let's fix that. Where's the hair here? Because that hair wouldn't be phasing through the face. So let's just actually go to the small brush. Let's fix this really quick, because the hair in this case would go behind the bone. Oh, okay. Well, no, now it's gone up to 3. So this is one of the reasons I don't pay attention to the numbers, is because I have no idea what's going on with them, because now there's 3. So there's you, I assume my sister, and somebody else, which is fine. But I don't know. I have to admit, I'm kind of mystified by the way this thing, and it's probably because it's this streaming software is keeping track of 3 different services, so maybe it gets confused or there's a lag to it or whatever. I don't really care. I don't do this for any kind of numbers, so it doesn't really matter to me. It is just kind of funny to me that I have absolutely no faith that any of the numbers that are being told to me actually mean anything. I don't know that they do. So that's what I mean about I'm kind of glad I just don't care and don't pay that much attention to it. You know what the problem here is? Well, one problem is, well, maybe not. Let's take a look. Let's do this. Let's go to the black layer, which is what I'm calling this now, because it kind of is. Let's just color this in. So let me turn the zombie off. Let me just go to the pen. Just because this is these are really small areas, so I want to fill these in. Okay, hold on. All right, there we are. There we are. Because these are really sharp areas, so I'm using what I guess you would call the small tipped pen, because otherwise it would probably just bleed over this stuff. Because these are sharp areas, because I'm using that taper brush, which I like. I like it. I'm still not, I would say 100%. Actually, I could just use my finger. Using the Apple Pencil for this doesn't accomplish anything. I'm actually faster just doing this. Faster doing finger painting, more or less, with this. So we'll do that. There we are. And let's do that. Just careful about it, because I can use the thicker brush in a minute, but the small point areas, I really want to make sure I don't leave any dead pixels. Let's see. I remember how to delete because it didn't follow community guidelines. I want to say, yeah, I don't know what that's about, but this is. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me fix that. This is a problem with a lot of these automated moderation systems, is they don't work very well. I mean, they just don't. They're better than nothing, don't get me wrong. You have to have some level of moderation for all this stuff, because you don't want somebody coming in here and just saying terrible, rude, and mean things. But the systems that these companies use just aren't very good. Because I've seen that a similar complaint, not on my streams, but with other people, where they're saying, I don't know why my comments aren't showing up. All I'm saying is, there's nothing I'm saying that could be seen as, hurtful or mean or anything like that, and yet they're getting deleted. So you're not alone. I don't know what it is. There's no real excuse for it, because, YouTube and Twitch are both owned by very, very, very rich companies. I should get a moderator. You know what? I mean, if I ever need to, I will. At this point, my channel does not have enough people that I'm too worried about it. If somebody really is saying terrible things, I know how to boot them, and I will. But at this point, it's not too much of a concern for me, because, like I said, my channel isn't big enough for, I don't think my channel is big enough for it to be worth it for somebody to cause trouble, because not that many people are going to see it, to be honest. So in some ways, not having a huge viewership is helping me there. Because, you know, what's the point? Who's going to see it? Not that many people. So they'll go find somebody who's way more well-known and a bigger name than me, and they'll go harass them. And those people probably do have moderators. So at this point, I'm not going to say it'll never get to that. I actually really hope it doesn't. It would be nice to not have to worry about that, to have people just being nice on the channel. I know that's kind of a pipe dream, but I can hope, right? I can wish, can't I, that might be what happens. I don't like how long these points are. They're unnaturally long. They look weird. Yeah, it's better. See, I don't like how much of a point there is on that, so I'm going to back that off a little bit. Still have it sharp, but not ridiculously sharp. Yeah, see, like that. I don't like that. That's too much of a sharp point. That's better. Yeah, okay. Where's that? Down here. So yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to be a moderator, I wouldn't say no. But like I said, I don't think I really require one yet. And yeah, the browser has less features because I'm using the browser. It doesn't let me go live. Yeah, well, yeah, there's when it comes to the browser stuff, a lot of these companies are kind of going back and forth on how they want you to do things, which I think is annoying. So there's some companies that are doing everything basically browser-based, or what they call progressive web apps, PWAs, where everything, even if it looks like it's a program on your computer, it's actually running. It's in fact running as a browser-based. I'm simplifying this, but essentially it is running off the web. And there's reasons to do it. But there's a lot of companies that keep going back and forth on whether they want you to use a dedicated program that's on your computer or not. And so, you know, it becomes confusing because you don't really know what you're doing. And because they make many times the web apps look like desktop apps or actual programs, you don't really know what you're using, which I don't think is ideal. I don't think that's a good way to have people use your stuff. I think people should know what they're doing. You know, okay, am I running this? Am I really running this in the web, or am I really running this on my desktop? I think there's a value in knowing that. But nobody at these companies is listening to me, so I don't know what to tell you. But I'm generally not a fan of it either. Well, I'm going to do this. There we go. That's better. Let's just do that. There we are. And we'll do that. Just want to close some of these holes up. And that. There we are. But yeah, there's so much stuff going on where they're changing the way. It doesn't let me go live because my well, yeah, there's another problem. Yeah, unsupported browsers, which is, you want to know what the truth about that is? The truth about that is that when it says that, a lot of times, the reason it says that is because the browser that you're using isn't letting you be tracked. And so these companies want to track you. They want to keep an eye on what you're doing. And when there's browsers that are kind of resisting that, the easiest thing for them to do is to just say it's not supported. Now, sometimes there are valid reasons. Sometimes there are problems with the browsers, but it's rare. What it most often is they don't like the fact that, you know, for example, I use the Brave browser, and Brave has a setting that I have set very aggressively to block all this stuff that websites want to try to do to track you and see what you're doing. Problem is that breaks a lot of websites. So there's many websites that simply refuse to work for me. They don't even do the browser not support. They just don't work because they want you to turn this stuff on, which I think is terrible. It shouldn't be this way. I mean, there's lots of stuff that shouldn't be, but that's one of them as far as the browser stuff goes. Is that's the main reason a lot of these things will say that they're not supported. It's not that they're not actually supported. It's because they're not supported in a way that lets the company get information about you, which I don't think is a good reason not to support something. I think it's kind of a bad reason, honestly. So basically, what I've essentially ended up doing is, with Brave as the browser, I will try Brave first, and if it doesn't work, then I'll fall back to Firefox, and in rare cases, I have to go to Chrome. But those are rare cases. The reason I use this browser, I'm not going to say what it is, because and that's the thing. I completely understand that. Most people, once people actually have an understanding of all the information that's being collected, what it's being used for, most people don't want to be tracked. When you don't know what it is, it's, people don't pay attention to it. But once you understand what's going on, most people don't want to be part of that. And the issue, there's two problems. I'll just be honest with you. There's two problems with that. So one is, yeah, they're trying to eat up as much information about you as possible to sell you stuff. Not to do things for you, but to sell you something. Right? So that's one side of the problem. The other side is that a lot of the early days of the internet were based on the idea of things being free because they wanted people to use, so whether it was Google search or, back in the day it would be Internet Explorer or Firefox and all that stuff, what they want you to do is they want you start using their products so that you get used to them and you really like them, and then they have to figure out a way to make money. I mean, none of these places can run unless they have billionaires funding them, which is not as many as you would think. But the only way they can survive is they have to make money. And if you're giving away a free product, say a browser or something else, or if you're running a free website like, say, Facebook or whatever, well, then you have the only way you're going to make money is you're going to start selling the information on your users. So if those users are blocking you from getting the information, then, oh, I just realized what I did? I just realized I didn't need to fill this in, so we could take this stuff out. So now they're going to start panicking because without your info, they have nothing to sell. And so now they don't have a way to make money. So there's two problems. One is everybody got used to things being free on the internet, which they never really were. I actually did one of my short podcasts on this where I said the problem is people think that things on the internet that are free are no cost, and that's not true. Everything has a cost. Even if it's presented to you as free, somebody has to pay something. So we have this whole, because I'm old enough to remember before internet was always on. I remember points where, I mean, when I was younger, I didn't have a computer. Not for long. I think I got a computer at, I want to say 13, 14. I don't remember exactly. But I remember the world before cell phones and internet always being there, or dialing into the internet on a phone line, which was, very fun. And in those early days, things were the freest they'd ever been because a lot of people didn't know what they were doing and they didn't realize they could make money off of stuff. And so they were just kind of building things and seeing what happened. And then there was a point where everybody started to realize, well, okay, we have to figure out how this stuff's going to make money. And that was kind of the beginning of the modern web, where things are free, but they don't cost nothing. That's the big distinction, is there is some bill somewhere that somebody's paying. And if you're not paying a service, this is a very common saying, is if you're not paying for a product, you are the product. And that means that what they're doing is they're providing you something because they're taking your data and they're selling it to somebody or using it to sell you things. So that's the issue is we're in a place where people by default, when they go on the web somewhere, they expect to access things for free. Except that again, free doesn't mean no cost. Even when you go into, and this is one of the points I made in that show, a lot of people go into Starbucks and use their free Wi-Fi. Or a lot of places. I mean, it's not even just Starbucks anymore. That was one of the things Starbucks did early, but a lot of places do it now where they're like, oh, you have free Wi-Fi. Okay, well, it's not free. It is not free. For two reasons. One, on the store side, so we'll use Starbucks as an example. If you go to Starbucks and they have free Wi-Fi, Starbucks is paying for it. They are paying a bill. Nobody's giving them that Wi-Fi for free. There is a cost to that. And what they're doing is, if you're not running a VPN or something like that, then what they're hoping they can do is get information about you and be able to sell that information in various ways to other people. So it isn't free. That Wi-Fi in Starbucks is not free. It's just that the cost is you. Your information is the way it's being paid, you know, the way you're paying for that Wi-Fi. Most people don't even think about that, though. They just think, oh, it's great. I can go to Starbucks and I get free internet. Well, you're not really getting free internet. It's just, that's not the case. But like I said, the internet early on, everything was quote unquote free, even though it really never was. And so people got used to that and didn't think about the fact that, well, wait a minute, you know, they're gathering all this information. It's like the early days of Facebook, you know, where you were encouraged to put all your information in there. And nobody thought about it early on. Nobody was sitting there going, oh, wait a minute, you know, are they taking this information and are they selling it to somebody? They were just like, oh, yeah, I can put my birthday in there, and then when it's my birthday, it'll let all my family members know it's my birthday. That sounds like a useful thing. That sounds just fun and harmless. But, of course, now the company knows your birthday. So on your birthday, they can run an ad that you can see, you know, where it's like, oh, okay, you know, they do all different types, but give yourself a gift for your birthday, blah, 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 blah. Buy this, buy that, whatever. And now Starbucks is a scam. Well, I don't know that I would say Starbucks is a scam, although a lot of people don't like their coffee. Starbucks is just a business. That's just how it is. I don't particularly like the way that the company treats its workers, because there's a Starbucks right near our house that I go to because I really like the people. The workers are great people. And so I like to go there to support them more than the coffee. I don't really care. The coffee is nothing special. And, you know, most people who are really into coffee will tell you, well, Starbucks coffee is nothing special, and it isn't. I'm not going to pretend it is. But I like the people there. You know, they're nice. They are, I think, genuinely friendly past the point of being told you have to be friendly. Because there's places that when you go into it, you know that the people aren't really friendly. They've just been told they have to be friendly. Most of the time you can sense the difference. You can tell the difference between there. But actually, yeah, the Starbucks that's near us, one of them, of course, there's a million because everywhere has now a million Starbucks. But the one near us is next to a really good bagel place. So a lot of times that's kind of my two-stop thing is Starbucks for coffee and then the bagel shop next to it for bagels, because I love bagels. Boy, do I. You know, there's these things that, you know, because you'll see people say, oh, you shouldn't eat bagels, they're not good for you. There's less, you know, what is it, like white flour and lots of carbohydrates, and it's not good for you. And, you know, I have, because I'm not young anymore, so I am trying to eat better to a degree. I'm not going to pretend I do great at it, but I do fairly well at it. All my numbers for my blood work are going in the right direction year after year, so I'm doing something right. But bagels, no, I ain't giving up bagels. No way. I don't care. I don't care if they're bad for me. They ain't going nowhere. Because bagels are just delicious. And I've tried to eat the whole grain bagels, and oh God, are they terrible. I went to this one cafe in Toronto, and there was this one person that was just smiling like, okay, well I would not stay in that place. If I walk into any place, coffee shop, supermarket, whatever, and I see somebody who's smiling oddly, I'm leaving that place. Just general principles, you know. Smiles are not always good. Smiles can sometimes indicate that, uh-oh, trouble, you know. So yeah, if I saw somebody who was smiling like a clown or in some disturbing way, I'd be beating feet out of that place. Quick. And I would. Because I you know, one of the things that you learn in, different types of classes, but like self-defense classes will often tell you, follow your instincts. If something doesn't seem right, it's not right. You know, if you feel off, get out of wherever it is. Don't don't second guess it. If something doesn't feel right, get out. Go away, and, you know, you could always come back to almost every place. But your instincts are often right. Your gut feeling. It's one of the things in art, actually, to kind of relate to it, is one of the things that, and I think this is true in design. It was a reservation I was going with family. Oh, well, that's... Well, at least you had people with you. That's a little better. It's a little better than if you were there by yourself. So that's not as bad. But one of the things you find in like art and design, and I think a lot of areas they tell you this, is whatever your first instinct is, you go with it. You know, whatever your first decision is, it is typically the best one. I was actually talking about this with my wife because she was trying to, I remember she was trying to decide on something. And she said, well, my first instinct was to do this. And I said, well, then do that. Because your first instinct is almost always, assuming you're making it calmly. You know, if it's the first, when you're stressed, it's a different thing. But your first instinct is often the correct one. So when she said it was her first instinct, I said, go with that then. Go with that because it's probably the right one. And that's kind of, you know, they say that with art too, is, okay, if you look at something, I've done that on this channel where I've looked at something and said, you know what, I don't like that. And rather than mess with it, I just take it out. Because if I don't like it, that's something somewhere in me is saying, nah, don't do that. Don't stick with that. It's not going to look good in the end. So I typically go by that particular logic, is your first instinct is generally the correct one. I'm not going to say always. It's not a universal rule. There are very few universal rules. But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, so the free Wi-Fi thing. So, yeah, that's the thing it's too bad is I think some of that stuff is we're somewhat correcting that because I think people are more aware now of what's being done with their information and the fact that it's, you know, there's sort of a problem when people are using your information and they haven't bothered to get your consent on it. Because there are some people who don't care, and that's okay. There are some people who are not at all concerned about being tracked and all this information. That's fine. You don't have to be. People can assess their own risk on things, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if somebody says, yeah, I don't care, go for it. Do a bunch of emojis. Doesn't bother me. I don't think the system limits you, so knock yourself out. But when people don't know what's being done with their stuff, that's when I think it's a problem. And unfortunately, there's a lot of that. It's understandable. People got enough stuff to worry about. They don't want to have to think about that too. But, oh, you know what I just realized? There's no... Well, I could just do that. There we go. I was going to say that the bone never had an end point. I'll take care of that. So, yep. But yeah, trying to run some things in the browser is an annoyance. And sometimes the browsers now, they all auto-update, and so sometimes they'll just suddenly break something. So whenever I can, I turn auto-update off. That is another recommendation I make to people. Don't just update automatically, unless it's for something like a security risk, and it specifically says, hey, we've found a security problem, you know, update this right away because somebody might be able to, you know, break into your phone or break into your computer. Those are the only times. Outside of that, I do not update automatically anymore because you never know. You never know when they're going to just go ahead and break something when they're saying, oh, it's supposed to be an update. There was a Photoshop update, I want to say a year or two ago, that if you update it right away, it just stopped working. And I don't do that, which I was very happy about because I went, oh, my Photoshop's working. But some other people who had the automatic updates on, mine will basically notify me and then I have to approve it. And that's what I would tell most people to do unless they have a specific reason to update right away. Don't update for 2 weeks. Just let everything sit. Let other people find out if there's problems. You don't want to be the one to find out unless that's like your job. And most people are not in cybersecurity for this stuff. So I would say don't update right away. I mean, I still haven't updated to the latest Mac OS thing. What is it called? Not Sonoma. Sonoma's the new one, isn't it? What was the one before that? Whatever the one, or maybe it is Sonoma. I updated at one point and it broke a bunch of things and I was like, okay, nope. Nope, I'm not updating to this thing. So I'm still one release back, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Have not noticed anything that I can't do, and that's the important bit. So, like I said, that's another thing. People got very used to, ooh, the update. Oh, the update's out. We got to get it. It's the latest thing. Got to get it. Careful. Be cautious when you're doing that, because, and that CrowdStrike thing proved it too. They don't always, people responsible for these updates, not always doing them the right way. So rather than lose all your stuff, wow, it's been 45 minutes? Whew. Doesn't feel like that. Time flies when you're just babbling on about nothing. What were those last ones? Oh, unicorns? Those unicorns, or are they just ponies? Because they have something on the front. It's unicorn, isn't it? Wow. Look at all the ones before that. That's amazing. Jeez, you got almost every single one in there, it looks like. Dolphin, gecko, fish, a couple fish. Yeah. Well, you don't have to stop at my account, Timber Dragon. You want to keep going, go for it. Doesn't bother me. I am not that hung up on that stuff. If you're having a good time, have a good time. I don't think you're bugging anybody else anyway. So, I doubt it. And honestly, the only person you got to worry about bothering me on my stream is me, and you're not bothering me. So, if you want to keep posting emojis, knock yourself out. You have my permission. I really don't mind. Emojis are not something I use a lot, I'll be honest. Not because I don't like them. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just... Again, I grew up when emojis weren't a thing. Not the way that, you have them now, where they actually look really nice. Emojis, when I was younger and first started using a cell phone, were just characters on a keyboard that sort of looked like whatever the thing was, but they weren't like emojis are now. Because, I'm not young. Can't pretend I am. Just not. It's the way it goes. If you get to... it seems like you get older faster. Because things move so quickly now. So it feels... It probably isn't. Not really. I think that's just a perception thing. I don't think it's actually true that, I feel like I'm aging faster. But I've heard people say that. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm aging faster than I used to because everything changes so fast. Well... It just feels that way because things change so quickly and you're trying to keep up. But, I don't actually believe there's any difference. Not really. But I hear some people saying that, and I can understand why they say it. It can feel that way. All right, let's start adding some color in here. I'll leave that. How many layers do I have on this thing? Let's take a quick look. Canvas, information. This is probably 9 by 12, right? 9 by 12. I have 136 layers left. Ooh-hoo! That's a lot of layers. And honestly, she's not even filling the screen. Hold on. Yeah, I really should expand this so that it's more into the... Ooh, not that much, though. That more. Okay. Did that really kill all the fidelity of the lines? Not bad. Not bad. It's okay. It's not terrible. All right. So, like I said, let's get some color in here. So we will add a layer here. Right there. Come on. Add. There we go. Let's do the bone color. That's a fairly easy one. Something like that. We'll start off with. We'll probably end up modifying that, but we'll start with that. Just for the actual bone color here. And the nice part is because I have the black layer above this, I don't have to worry so much about going into the black. It's not going to hurt anything. And these are just... All right, thanks for stopping by, Timber Dragon. Have a good night. Because I know you... I'm pretty sure you said you're on East Coast time, so have a good night. Yeah, I'm not going to work... Did I go into the skin? No, I didn't. Okay. This is just the first color. I'm not going to worry about... This will probably get changed. I almost never stick with my first colors on most things, so I'm not too worried about this right now. I can always adjust it and do the hue and saturation stuff on it. So it will, I'm sure, change. And, all Okay. Where are we at time-wise? Oh, 50 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be about an hour, as usual. Because I think I've said this before. That's about when the iPad starts to really heat up. And not only do I want to, you know, try to preserve the iPad's actual lifespan by not overheating it for too long, but also it gets a little warm to actually work on, which is not fun either. Because once again now I mean, fortunately it's not going to go too far. I think it's going to max out at 100 tomorrow and Wednesday. But oh, we had a couple of nice days. A couple of days, I think it was 78 the other day. Oh, it was nice. And I know more of those days are coming now that the days are going to start getting shorter, so it's fine. But it was nice to have 2 or 3 days where the temperature was not so warm. You could hang out outside and not feel like you were going to, you know, start to sweat after about 20 minutes. The one day there was a nice breeze that came through. It's okay. It'll come back. We're going into fall now, and fall brings cooler temperatures. So I'm not going to complain too much. We survived the 2 straight weeks of 105 plus weather, which was really fun, let me tell you. Really fun. Especially when you look at your energy bill and think, oh, that's great. There's where a bunch of money is going to go this month. Although, actually, I shouldn't really complain, because I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I think I've been doing that super cooling thing the last couple of years. It does really work. It does actually make it where, I mean, it doesn't, hey, listen, you're still going to get a bill, and it's still going to be some money. But it definitely does seem to blunt the worst of it. There was only one really bad bill for the summer so far. Unless, you know, we suddenly go back into triple digits for a while, but I doubt it. So it did seem to do something, because there was only one really bad month where I went, hey, yikes. But I knew that was coming. Unfortunately, we're going to be having more and more heat, and the heat's going to get worse, and it's going to keep going longer because things are heating up. That's just the way it is. People want to pretend it's not happening. Sorry, folks, it's happening. It is. So it is only going to get warmer and last longer. You know? Just a reality of how it is when things can't cool off properly. All right, let's see here. I'm just cleaning up these edges, which I knew were going to be probably missing a little bit on the black side. Always is. It's okay. Not the biggest deal in the world. You wouldn't even really see it if I wasn't zoomed in as much as I am. So I do this more to myself than anything else. Okay. Let's go back to that bone color. Let's switch back to here. Get back to the bone layer. And let's see. Yeah, we'll finish at least getting the bone color done. And then I will probably call this stream done for the night. I will plan to be back on Thursday. I may start doing the streams on Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays just seem to be working out better for the time frames. Just seems to have gone that way compared to Tuesdays, which initially were, but now it just seems like Mondays are where I have nice long blocks of time, which is fine. It's not like it really matters. It was never something where I have to do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was never one of those type of things. It was just, that's how it ended up starting out. You know what? That's definitely got to get lightened up. That's too, saturation down a little bit. Something like that looks good to me. That's a better bone color, I think. Yeah. So probably Thursday. Initially I was doing it just on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are still okay, but my Wednesday streams, just by the time I start them and everything, they tend to be shorter, so doing the streams on Because Monday I can start a little bit, later. Tends to work out. And that way, if I start a little bit later on Mondays, I already have fed my dog, so I don't have to stop in the middle of the stream to do that. Not that it takes that long. It's not like it takes more than... I don't think it's ever taken longer than 3 minutes. I mean, it's pretty quick. But still, you know, I would prefer to just keep going and not stop unless something comes up. So I definitely prefer to just keep the stream going continuously. But yeah, it worked out. Like I said, Wednesdays at first were really good. But then, you know, I started realizing that I was kind of racing through them sometimes because I was running a bit shorter on time than I expected to. So, you know what, I'm going to make that darker. So Wednesdays kind of dropped off, and then Tuesday, Thursdays were working well. That's, like I said, the nice part about me not making this any kind of really big formal thing is I can change it, and it's okay. I know there are some people who really like set schedules, and I understand that. I get it. But I just don't think that's really ever going to be the case for me in streaming because... And part of it is just that there have been days where I was... I don't want to say supposed to stream, but planned to stream, and I just had nothing creatively. In my head, I was like, yeah, there's no point in me doing a stream. I have nothing. Like, I'm just kind of not in the right frame of mind to do artwork. That's the trick with creativity sometimes, is it's not like it's a... I do think there are people who think it's just, you can always be creative. That's true to a point, but it's not really true. It's like anything else. You can have your good days, bad days. So, some days I sit there and go, yeah, I don't know whether this is a stream. This is a day I should stream because I don't know if it'll be a very good stream. And I'd rather not stream than do a stream where I have no energy for it. You can kind of tell. That just seems worse. I think it's better if you just don't have a stream than to be like, oh, wow, he really just doesn't care about it tonight. It does happen. It does happen. Not often, but it does happen. Okay. Let me do one more thing. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to call this. Oop, wrong layer. Wrong layer. Get to the black layer. There we go. There we are. And then I'm going to need a darker bone color for kind of these other areas. Oh, and I missed a spot. Let's get that really quick. Here we are. There we go. There we go. And we'll just shade that in. So that's covered. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do another layer. Actually, I'm going to put this layer under this one. And I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to do this really quick. So I'm going to go bang. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to drop that brightness down. Oh, yeah, that's better. Actually, maybe I should drop the saturation a bit, too. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Grab that. Boop, done. And then on this layer, I'm going to basically... This will be the darker part of the bone. And I'll probably do a third color, but for now, we'll just do the two parts to kind of distinguish all this from itself. So then you can tell the parts of the skull that are kind of recessed and pushed in just from the color. And there'll be other stuff. I'll put some... Hold on, yeah. There'll be other stuff too, but that's kind of a really easy visual indicator of it. And because it goes behind the other color, I don't have to be as careful with it because, you know, I can't go over that one. Now this will be the interesting little bit right here is that little ridge part in between is going to be the brighter color and the rest is going to be the darker color. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So get that filled in. Let's sample that color. Jump back up to this. That will be here. There is, see what I mean? So that little piece of the bone is a little bit brighter. And the rest, we're going to do this kind of darker color. And there we are. Is that? That's skin. Just checking. Skin color. I don't know what I'm going to do for skin color yet. I haven't made a decision. I'm sort of leaning towards a bright kind of either green or purple for the skin, like really, really, really bright, not realistic at all, just very, very glow sticky. That's not a word, but I'm using it that way. Just because I think it'll pop more. It'll be more like a fun. I'm not really trying to make realistic stuff. I'm more about making fun stuff that's just neat to look at. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what looks good against the bone too, because obviously the colors against the bone are going to matter. I'm sure almost everything's going to work. This is a pretty neutral color for the bones. This is not like a really, I mean, it's sort of a beige color, which will go with anything. It's a very fundamentally boring color on purpose. That's actually what I want, but it'll go with, you know, I don't have to worry about color going with this too much compared to some other things. It should kind of go with everything, but we'll see. I say that, but we'll see. I've said that before and then found out that I was completely wrong. So, right, let's do one more dark area. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no, I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right spot. Thought I did this wrong. I didn't. So, do one more dark area here inside the eye socket. And then we will be done for this evening. See, like right there, that little pocket there, that's going to be a darker color too. So, there is going to be a third darker bone color. So, I was pretty sure there would be. And now I'm extremely sure there will be. And we'll just fill that out. There we are. And then we'll do a nice zoom out on it. Yep, here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, I think that's way better than what I had before. I really do. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize the thing had paused. My fault. You didn't miss too much. Just some of the bone coloring. But, okay, there we are. There. Sorry, didn't realize that. I really can't stand it when I don't notice that, but yeah. So, that's where we're going to leave it for this particular stream. And this part here, that's getting redone. I can tell you right now, this is not going to stay like that. I don't like that at all. But we'll fix that next time. So, all right, now, look at this. I've managed to figure out how to actually fade it in. So get ready. It's going to fade in. Ah, see? A lot better than just that sudden thing. It was really stupid how I had to do that because I had to basically fake it, but it works. So who cares? All that matters is I got it to work. That's what's important. So thank you for stopping by on a Monday evening to hang out for a bit. And if you're watching this later, that's perfectly fine. I don't distinguish on whether people show up for the live stuff or they come later. Whatever way you find the stream is the best way to find the stream. So I don't care. Live or later doesn't matter to me. But I would say, go find somebody else being creative. Or, here's another thing. I'll give you an alternative. Because sometimes people are like, all right, I'm not going to another stream. But this is something I would actually tell you to do. If there is a creator that you like, and not, you know, I'm not talking about somebody big time. I'm not talking about a Taylor Swift type. But I'm talking about somebody smaller scale. And that person has a support mechanism of some kind. And, you know, you've never donated anything to it. Donate something. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other people. There's other small creators all over the place on Twitch, on YouTube, all over. And honestly, creativity is very tough. It's very tough to make money at. So if there's somebody whose work that you like, go support it. It's gonna matter. It's gonna mean the world to them. And you never know, you might help them make rent or buy food or something. So I would encourage you. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, okay, I'll support them next time. But when everybody does that, then that's when these people have a hard time. So go find somebody that you enjoy creatively and go support those people because, like I said, it means a lot more to them than you think. Even small amounts, couple bucks, doesn't matter. It means more than the dollar amount. So go support those people. There's lots of them around. Lots of people doing different things that could use that help. So go find those people and help them out. On that note, do something creative for yourself too, because it is good for your mind, your body, and your soul. And until the next stream, which will likely be on Thursday if you're watching this live, thanks again for stopping by. Have a wonderful rest of your whatever it is. And until we meet again, take care.